Hey guys, thanks for dropping by. Today I'm going to be teaching you a quick tutorial on how to set up custom sounds in the Hammer Editor for SteamVR Environments. Based off some other tutorials I'd seen before, the process used to be quite a bit simpler, in which all you had to do was locate a custom file from your assets folder for an ambient generic, but now there are a few extra steps needed in order to get that working for VR. And I don't know if it's exclusive to VR, this is just a process I had to go through. But first off, what you're going to want to do is select any one of your assets specific to your project. So you can see here, it's not using the SteamTours core content. And you can just go here, copy the path for content, go into a browser window or explorer window, and we're going to want to go and copy paste it. Except you're going to want to delete all the way to the directory of your project, the main directory. So if you don't already have a sounds folder, go ahead and create one. That's where we're going to be placing your sound file. And let me do that right now. So you'll want to put a WAV file. I think MP3 works as well, but I'm not super certain on that. I would use a WAV just to be safe. And then next in the sound events file, you're going to want to edit this. Inside, you're going to find a basically empty file, but inside the braces, it'll look like this at first, but inside that, you'll want to define your sound file. Here I'm using the template for what was shown on the documentation on Valve's site. So here I've named it sound name 01. I've used one of the sound type variations. You can either use the VR1 or 2D. More details on their website about the differences. And then you're going to want to also reference your sound file. And your sound file is going to be not actually the WAV file itself, but a configuration file that was generated when you linked it to your asset browser. So where can you find that? Excuse me. So mine was called boiling water, VSNT. And this should have been generated. If not, it gets generated a little bit later. This could be either through running a build of the game. Let me try running a build of the game and see if it generates the file for us. If not, we might have to do a quick restart. So I accidentally closed out the project actually, but if we go back and search for the sound file, we can see now that it has generated the VSNT counterpart in the game file directory. So that's perfect. So we know that that's set up and should be working and should have generated a version in which we can use for our ambient generic. And let me just go ahead and delete these because we need to start from scratch and show you how to create that. So first off, I would recommend running a build of the game, even if you're not going to be testing out anything. This just allows it so you can actually hear the sound files, because otherwise, for some reason in SteamVR's version of the Hammer Editor, you can't hear the sound files immediately until you've run a build of it. So go ahead and do that. And then once you've done that, we're going to go to the Entity tool and search for ambient generic. And go ahead and add that here. I'm just going to move this window aside. And then you're going to want to look in the sound list. And you can see here that we have sound name 01. I can hear the boiling water file, which I have linked it to. So that's pretty much it for this tutorial. I will be making another tutorial on how to trigger the sound files. Like if you were to touch a certain spot in the room or something, or an object with your VR controller, and then it would trigger to play the sound file. But for now, yep, this is a tutorial on how to create a ambient generic and how to use a custom sound file for. Thanks.